is today's news.
Baltimore bridge collapse. Hit by a cargo ship.
The priority, of course, saving lives, pulling people out of the water.
Supreme Court argument on abortion pill.
This case is a calculated attack on abortion access.
Good morning. I'm Steve Kathan with the CBS World News Roundup. A frantic search and rescue effort underway now in Maryland's Patapsco River after a cargo ship rammed into the Francis Scott Key Bridge overnight, sending a major part of it crashing down along with vehicles that were still on it.
Our sonar has detected the presence of vehicles submerged in the water.
Baltimore Fire Chief James Wallace.
We have a large area that we have to search. This includes on the surface of the water, subsurface, as well as on the deck of the ship itself.
Rescue crews have pulled at least 2 people from the water, one in good condition, the other was sent to a hospital. This where the crew reported a loss of propulsion as it was leaving port, affecting control of the vessel. The bridge carries traffic on Interstate 695, which is now closed in both directions. CBS's Nicole Skanga begins our coverage.
The entire bridge, the entire Key Bridge in the harbor.
Multiple cars driving on the bridge at the time. They could not confirm how many, but did say there was at least one the size of a tractor trailer. Baltimore police say there is a possibility construction workers on the bridge may have fallen into the river. Rescue teams are looking for up to 7 people who may be in the river, along with an unknown number of vehicles.
This water is current influence. So right now we think the tide is coming back in. That adds a bit of a challenge to us also.
An official with the Coast Guard in Baltimore confirmed the 974-foot long and 161-feet wide Singapore flag cargo ship called the Dolly collided with the bridge. It was headed to Sri Lanka.
Never would you think that you would see the Key Bridge tumble down like that. It looked like something out of an action movie.
CBS News transportation correspondent Chris Van Cleve.
Certainly for commuters in Baltimore, it's going to create some challenges. You know, the tunnels can only handle so much traffic. I think the bigger question economically is how accessible is the Port of Baltimore going to be? You know, if there are cargo containers or debris or that ship, how long will it take to remove those things in order to get the port back up and running?
CBS News transportation safety analyst Robert Sumwalt is a former head of the NTSB.
The investigators will have a lot to go on here. It looks to me like the bridge collapsed onto the bow of the ship, so you're going to have a surviving crew from the ship. There will be voice data recorders that they can recover.
Right now, the U.S. Supreme Court is hearing arguments on mifepristone, the abortion pill.
The justices will consider rolling back federal policies that made it easier for women to get mifepristone.
This case is a calculated attack on abortion access.
He and they Metzgers with Planned Parenthood.
Science and medicine should lead these decisions, but the FDA's authority should not be questioned.
But Carol Tobias of National Right to Life disagrees and says the justices need to rein in the FDA.
The FDA is looking for ways to ignore the court ruling, making the pill as available and abortion as readily accessible through the pill as possible.
Legal analyst Lori Levinson says the FDA and drug makers will argue
it shouldn't be up to judges to rethink the science here, that the FDA is the expert agency, and you shouldn't be second-guessing them.
Tracy Lynn, CBS News, Washington.
Federal authorities raided 2 properties owned by rap mogul Sean Diddy Combs. CBS's Carter Evans reports the searches in Miami and L.A. are part of a possible sex trafficking investigation.
The Department of Homeland Security released a statement confirming the raids in both cities, but they did not explain the reason behind the law enforcement action and said they would release more information as it becomes available. Combs has denied any wrongdoing.
Overseas in Great Britain, new developments in the Julian Assange case.
The High Court here has just ruled that Julian Assange can appeal against his extradition to the United States. That means his case will now go before 3 High Court judges. It does not mean that the WikiLeaks founder is going to be home free anytime soon, but it certainly does put back any extradition by months, if not years. Vicky Barker, CBS News, London.
At a court hearing in Moscow, detention was extended today for Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich until at least June 30th. The U.S. says he's wrongfully detained on espionage charges he and the paper have denied.